everybody, welcome to Garrett's Games. We are a podcast and video series about board games, and we just hit our 1,000th episode of our audio podcast just this last Sunday. So hey, make sure you go back and listen to that, and we'll tell you why in a moment. I'm Doug.
I'm Shelley.
And we have, as I just said, 1,000 podcasts, 1,000 episodes of our Garrett's Games and Geekiness podcast that we've been doing for 19 and a half years. On that Sunday podcast, we talked about our top 10 of the first 6 months of 2025, as well as talked about what we think would be the winner of the 3 nominees for the Kenner Spiel des Jahres, which is one of the games of the year in Germany, that we talked about here on the videos. So that we talked about those 3. You can go back and look at Loot, Endeavor Deep Sea, and Far Away. Okay, so you can see those videos, but then we talk about which one we think should have won or should win, and which one we think will win on the audio podcast. And then finally, we also announced the winner of our contest giveaway for our 1,000th episode to celebrate that. We have 3 winners, in fact. And so go back and listen to that audio podcast if you have not yet done so, because that's where we announce the winners. All right. So, on this podcast, unlike usually where we spend some time talking about a specific game and showing you that, we are actually recording this before that audio podcast. So, we made that list, that top 10 list, and here we're going to give you a highlight. We're going to talk about our top 3, and because we did not record the audio yet, we don't know what the other is going to talk about.
No, we don't.
All right.
I think that there might be some crossover, but
Shelley's
I could be wrong.
crossovers. I may surprise her. This is going to be kind of fun.
I'm interested to see what you picked.
So we had a lot of games over on.
A lot of games.
I must say I don't have the exact count. I have that on the audio. So go back and listen to Sundays, and we can listen. You can hear our 10 through 4 along with our top 3. Okay, probably with a couple of honorable mentions. Because we tend to do that. It's possible that we do that, right? Maybe.
I mean, I made myself nod, but
you did.
I crossed them all. I crossed them off. I had 3.
Oh.
Maybe I'll put them back in.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about our top 10. We'll put up pictures of those games here. It's possible, Shelley hasn't looked behind her, but it's possible that some of the ones that I chose are behind us in the various windows around here.
No, I think you might be right, dear.
Yeah. So, those are up there. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up here.
Okay.
All right. So, Shelley, do you want to start? What is your number 3 for the first 6 months of 2025?
We played a lot of great games, and it was a very hard decision.
It was. I completely agree.
But my number 3 is Risafa
by
Vladimir Sushi. Delicious games, as well as many other publishers like Rio Grande and many other publishers made the game too.
Yeah.
And it plays in 60 to 150 minutes. And basically, it's a game where you're a merchant and you're picking up. You have a camel that walks around, and the camel holds your stuff really cool in its back.
Yeah, that is really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I really like that.
And you are going to different areas to pick up supplies that you need, sell things, or buy.
Yeah, that's true.
But once you go to sell something, then you can't buy at the same spot, and you're making it better for the next person when they come through.
That's true.
So that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
And then there's many cards, and
you're a Vladimir Sushi game, of course.
And there's great tracks at the bottom, so you want to get better cards in your hand. So that's the yellow. The one on the far left.
Yeah, you're trying to get.
And then
you have
end game ones as well. And as you're going up in those tracks, you get to look through the whole deck.
Yeah.
So you pick the one that you like the best, and then you put the rest back. And and then there's water areas.
Why is this in your top 3 though? I mean, what sets it apart from others?
It's a fantastic game.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. It's in depth, but it's doable.
Yeah,
it's not painful. I could probably play it without too much of a review.
That's true.
Which does help.
Yeah, sure.
But it is a big, heavy game.
It's
60 to 150 minutes, so it's a big one.
All right.
But I just think it's just so interesting And there's so many paths to victory.
Yeah.
You can go in the water route. You can get your cards to support things you're already doing.
Yeah, Sushi did Underwater Cities, which we were less enamored with, and he's done a number of different things. Started his career with League of Six,
Right,
which
long
he did
ago.
with
Oh my gosh.
Check Games Edition.
I think that
right?
was like 19 years ago.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long, but
It's been a long
while.
time.
It has
It's
been
been a
a
long
while.
time.
That was one of our first Essen trips. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good choice.
So
good
that's
choice.
what I
All right.
picked.
Okay. So
What did
I
you
would
pick?
have to say that kind of I think
Right.
I'm not going to speculate completely,
Right.
but that kind of fits in your. This would be my meaty game.
Yes, that's my heavy game.
Yeah, that's your heavy game for your
sure.
top three.
Well, no, I think I have
Okay.
two pretty heavy
Oh,
ones.
you
there.
do? Okay.
I have one that's
so
not.
my heavy game,
Okay.
and it may suffer a little bit from recency bias, is
Oh.
Bone Wars.
I
So
love
that made
game.
my
Yeah,
top
yeah.
three. We just talked about it. We talked about it here in a video
Yep.
as well, so you can go back and take a look at that. It is a really interesting game from Game Brewer and Chronio Creation. Plays 1 to 4 players, 40 minutes per player, 60 to 120 minutes or
It's
so.
a great game.
12 plus. And the designer is Wim Goossens. It is an interesting look at. I like when they take a historical setting. So this one was kind of that rush to discover as many different dinosaurs as possible in the late 19th century, and I didn't even know that there was this huge competition, almost war, if you will, between these competing rival paleontologists. And so you've got a bunch of cards that you're discovering, the different dinosaur cards, you're digging up bones. And the thing that I think is most interesting, all of that is interesting.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that is most interesting about it is the fact that you can switch your allegiances. So
Yep.
there's a red guy and a blue guy. And halfway through the game, or at any point actually, you can switch whom you are supporting, which means you're causing that score track in that color to go up. And you want both of them going up.
Right,
Though
right.
of course you want one to score you big in comparison to your rivals.
Right.
And
right.
I like the multi-use of the cards and the various actions. So again, that is Bone Wars. For me,
Amazing
that is
game.
my number 3. Wim Goossens, Game Brewer, and Chronio Creations for 1 to 4 players.
All right.
All right. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Atlantis Exodus.
Oh, okay.
From DLP Games. It's a 90-minute game. It's by
that is a
George
heavier
Halkias and Konstantinos Karagianos.
Good job. bud.
No,
Well done.
Karagianis. Sorry, Karagianis. This is a fantastic game because it's fun because there's these round.
Yes, there's inter.
And you rotate them.
Yeah.
And so that changes the game up a bit.
Definitely, yeah.
And you're starting in the middle.
SETI had a similar thing where
Yeah, they
you're using
did,
that.
yeah.
But we actually like this better than SETI. I know
I
that'll
do.
shock some people.
I do, for
Yeah,
sure.
but yes, definitely.
Yeah. But you're moving out, and that's going to show you your 3 actions that you're going to
Yes.
do. But, you're trying to figure out which things that you
Yeah.
want. You have different careers, and you build on those careers
Sure.
to change the person.
Yeah.
You have these contracts that say what kind of level of job somebody or career somebody's going to have. You have your own personal board where you're taking tiles off the board and putting it onto your board, which is really cool because you put it where you need things, right?
Sure,
But if you
sure.
finish columns or rows, you get rewarded for that too.
Definitely.
And I just think
It's a big, solid
it
game.
is. It's great. There's this fire track that goes around the edge, around the outside ring.
That's true.
That you're trying to get. You get rewarded every time you take a step. Almost, it's like every other. So you're getting a lot of.
you've chosen
It's a
some good
really,
games.
really fun.
I'm just going to say, I don't know that there's going to be much crossover. This is
Really, that's interesting because I would have thought these would have majors for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I do
but
agree.
I mean,
with you.
I don't. I'm not.
Bone Wars is
saying they're-
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and both your Atlantis.
I love
Exodus.
this game.
I do like that interlocking the rings and so on. That's really interesting as you're trying to plan out how you're going to go and what things you're going to.
Well, and you have these
get
totem
as your
poles.
actions. Yeah.
And you're trying to get those higher. I mean, there's so many things you're trying to do. And you can't do them all. Well,
Solid game.
It's a really heavy one, but it's great.
Well, I can play heavier and heavier games with my wife. Not that I didn't know that already. Okay, so my number 2.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Draft and Write Records. Yeah.
It's fun.
Exactly. That's what it is. Number one, it captures one of my other passions,
Yeah.
which is records and everything like that. This is about record producing. We talked last year. One of our highlights was Hi-Fi,
Yeah.
which
That
was a really cool game as well.
Really cool.
So this fits that bit. It's a draft, draw and draw game.
Yeah.
So you've got a pad of paper and you're trying to make, get your band together and so on like that. So it has, some of those elements that I love in all of the roll and writes and stuff like that, but it has a theme that really resonates with me. So I really like that one. This is from Inside Up Games, designed by Bruno Maciel, for 30 to 60 minutes, ages 10 plus, and it plays 1 to 6 players. So that's kind of nice.
That is
as
cool.
well.
Yeah.
So I think more than anything, the theme really grabs me on this one, and it is fun. It's one that I can see us pulling out, for example,
Easily,
at Meeple
very
Fest,
easily, and we
or
will.
yeah,
we will,
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
because it plays up to 6 players. So
Right.
I must say, I kind of looked at my top 3. Well, what are kind of ones that are fitting in to kind of different categories for me?
Yeah.
And so I had my heavy game, which was Bone Wars.
Right.
And now my second one is Draft and Write Records, which, as it says, falls in that 30 to 60 minute range, plays with a few more players, and definitely has a theme that I really like. So
That's very
that works
cool.
for me.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Got to get to Shell's number 1.
My number 1 is one that I know will get play because it's not as heavy and it's not as long.
All right.
But it's a so much fun game. It's Fromage, and that is by Matthew O'Malley and Ben Rossett. It's from 1 to 4 players by Road to Infamy. That's the publisher.
Yes.
And I love this game. Another round board.
Yeah.
It's all cheese. Everything's cheese. So you have a round board and you have it split into 4 pieces, basically.
Yes.
And each of those is a different way that the way you're scoring.
Yes.
So you have one that's for area majority. That's the map. You have another one that's
You're placing things on a shelf.
on a shelf,
yeah.
and you're trying to get certain shelves, and you get different things if you put them on the shelf. And then there's another one that's
fair, isn't that?
yeah
the
fair.
fair.
Yeah, there's a one. Yeah, so there's 4 different.
Yeah,
so
4 different ones. Yeah.
one where you're trying to get orthogonally adjacent to things.
Right.
That's the
Right.
fair.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
And then there's a bistro,
yes.
the restaurant bistro, where you're trying to get different
on tables.
cheeses on your tables
Paired up.
Yes. And so that's really cool. What's fun about, there's so much fun about this game. I love this game because the middle section gives you your resources, your animals, your buildings, your jams, your cards,
Yes,
like your
exactly.
contracts of
Yeah,
things you want, different kinds of cheeses you want to make. And then so you have these cool actions all the way around, but it's rotating the board, and you're also choosing the type of cheese that you want to put down. So you can do white or yellow or blue.
And also how long you're going to age it.
Well, and how long you're going to age that cheese, and that's going to determine. You're getting, if you age it longer, you're going to get 3 actions versus middle one you get 2, and then if you're doing a fast aging one, you get. It's every action.
You get your
piece back. So
back.
as your pieces turn and face you, then you take them off.
Right.
And so some actions you're going to have many turns, and other ones you're going to have aged. Maybe you made a mistake and aged too long, or age it so that you don't really get to do something one of the rounds.
Yeah.
You're trying to do the rounds. Whichever section of the board you're concentrating on. You're concentrating on them all because you see them all.
Sure.
But you want to make sure that you have the piece when you need it. And it is just so fun. It spins and it's just, it's great. I bet it's your number 1.
It is my number 1.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad we had some consoles. It's so amazing.
Yes.
It's a fun game.
It really is a great game. Again, I will say it is from Road to Infamy Games.
Yes.
1 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes, play at 14 plus on the box, but it's a very straightforward game, easy to pick up, but has some really good challenge as you are figuring out, well, how long do I want to wait for that action to come back to me and my pieces, and what do I want to plan for, and so on and
until
so forth.
the person
each time that
faces
board
you.
rotates, and it's just
it's so pretty,
inventive game.
Very inventive.
Yes.
And it's so quick.
Yeah, exactly. I will tell you,
it's fun.
I sponsored Fromaggio, which is the sequel.
What is it?
The sequel to Fromage.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know about this. Oh,
Yeah,
exciting,
so
yay.
that's going to be the next one.
Oh, I can't wait because
So,
this game is amazing.
Hey,
amazing
we did
game.
agree on one. And it was our number one.
Yay.
All right. So you got to check it out. I know I've shown some images here of the various things. For those of you who are watching who are coming to Meeple Fest, we'll have these games, so they're going to be fun to play. If you don't have them, check them out. Definitely check them out.
Definitely. These are great games.
Let the publishers know that Garrett's Games sent you to them. Okay? All right. You can sponsor the podcast, by the way, by going to patreon.com/Garrett's Games, or you could go down in the show notes and check out the extensive list of games that no longer fit on our shelves, but belong on your table. Regardless, have a great week. Thanks for listening. Go back and listen to our top 10 from our 1000th episode and see if you won some games. Have a great one. Take care. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.